Good morning, Internet. This is Vladimir Nemchinov with InvestSteady.com. Another morning here in Cleveland. And today we are frozen over. It is super, super, super cold. Here I am today to talk about the second level of wealth game, the wealth game. The first one was budgeting. Budgeting, you need to figure out what can you do and how can you achieve your goals with the money you have. You can increase your income, you can decrease your expenses, but that margin between those will help you achieve your goals or will show you what you can do and can you achieve your goals or you need to change something. And so today we're going to talk about second level of the wealth game is protection. Okay, so protection of your income. Why income protection comes before debt payoff and investing? As you know, level 3 of the wealth game is paying off the debt. Well, level 3 is starter emergency fund, and level 4 is paying off debt. Okay, so why do I think it is important to be protected and have life insurance in place as well as you will? It is because let me give you an example, right? You have debt, all right, and you prioritize paying off $1,000 a month towards your debt, okay? So whether you paid it off or didn't pay in a couple months and you passed, for example, then your family inherits your I'm talking about married people with kids, okay? Not everybody needs life insurance. If you're in college, you don't need life insurance, okay? If you don't have any dependents, you don't need life insurance. But if you are and you're planning on having kids or you have kids already, you must have life insurance. And this is why. Because normal average family is in debt, okay? If you're in debt and you don't have life insurance, well, what's going to happen after your passing? Your estate will have to take care of all your debts, okay? On top of that, now your spouse missing income from you, and now then you take care of the kids and be able to work, take care of kids. Whether they go somewhere, somebody's going to watch them, it's going to cost money, okay? Or they're going to stay with them, but they're not going to have income. So both of those things are being taken care of by life insurance. All right, so when a person passes, the life insurance, we recommend 10 to 12% of annual income. If you make $100,000, you should have $1 to $1.2 million in coverage, okay? And it should be term life insurance only, okay? And the kind that doesn't change over the time, and it shouldn't. Term life should not. The premium should stay the same, okay? So why income protection before the debt? For that reason. If something happens to you, yes, you might have paid off half of that. That's the thing. That's the variable in this equation that we don't know when we're going to pass. And of course, I mean, I'm not planning on dying before 100 years old for sure. But that's the thing. Like people who are in the graveyard, in the cemetery, they didn't plan to die. I betcha 99.9% did not plan to die. Okay, we say, especially in our culture, in post-Soviet Union countries' culture, that's a very common thing. I'm not planning on dying. Unfortunately, death comes when we don't plan, so we can control that, and that's the variable. Okay, let's look at a question from Reddit. Okay. All right. Where is it? Okay. Should we cancel life insurance? I feel like I've been seeing posts or reading on life insurance lately. My husband and I got life insurance whole life in 2022 from our financial advisor. Remember, financial advisors do not sell life insurance. Okay? They do not sell whole life insurance. Only whole life reps or salespeople sell whole life insurance. Nobody in the whole financial world recommends whole life insurance. So it was not a financial advisor. He made a whole PowerPoint about how doing whole life over term was better. We've been paying $210 for mine and $250 for my husband's a month for 300,000 policy each. We are both 34. After reading posts, I'm considering canceling both of our policies, and we'd invest the money in a Roth 401k each month. Does this sound like better plan, or should we keep the life insurance? I have a feeling down the road we'd end up canceling it anyway, so kind of rather do it sooner. So a couple things going on, and these are good questions. So 210 and 250, this is a ridiculous amount. It's $460 a month for life insurance for 300,000 only. Okay, so because it is whole life, this is how whole life works. The life insurance is life insurance. It costs based on your age, if you're a smoker or not, if you're overweight or not. Those are the main criteria that life insurance looking at. Okay, so basically it's a math probability of your death based on those things. Okay, so if you're a male, you relatively speaking, comparatively speaking, you will pass sooner than female. So like in this case, her life insurance cost less for the same amount at the same age. Okay, so if we just take age, men's life insurance will cost more for the same age, for the same period, for everything the same, except the only variable is female or male. So men's will be more expensive because men die sooner. Okay, statistically. That's why math tells the insurance company, okay, this is how much this will cost. Plus, if you add smoking on top of that, of course, that's increases the chance of dying prematurely or earlier, younger, and so cost goes up. But here we have, anyway, so in a whole life insurance, how it works, your premium every month buys you life insurance for 1 year, okay? Because every year you're closer to passing. Every year it goes more expensive. But what they have to do in the whole life scenario, they also have to use a portion of it to invest. And that's how they sell the investing part. Of course, only the company benefits from it, and actual consumers do not benefit. Okay, so now with the term life, it's going to be way cheaper. For example, I'm 40 years old as of last year, and we got our life insurance when, let's see, when my oldest is 8 years old right now, so we got it the year he was born. Right before he was born, we got life insurance. And it was I think it was $350, and it was term, and it cost us $50. Okay, so almost 1/10 of the price that they are paying. Maybe they're a little bit older, 34. We were 30. I was 32. My wife is younger. So this is the big comparison of whole life and term life. Now, a couple things that they're talking about. Let's see, considering canceling both policies and would invest the money into Roth and 401k. Okay, so a couple comments about this question. First of all, I like math. Okay, so when people try to sell me life insurance, I was like, man, okay, let me count. If I put that money away every month into 401k, let's say, right? So they would put or the $460 a month into 401k. Okay, so that would be about $5,500 a year. Okay, so now if we divide 300,000 by 5,500, what did I do? I did something wrong. Okay, 300,000 divided by 5,500 equals 54. So it's 54 years, okay, before you put away $300,000. Okay, so you will get the same amount. Well, obviously, plus it grows. Okay, it's not pure math. So let's say it's not 54. Let's say it's 20 years, okay, which is not going to be, but let's say it's 20 years. That means you will have that amount of that you're covered with life insurance, let's say, after 20 years. Okay, so the point of life insurance, if something happens to you and you have dependents, in their case, if there's no kids, then it doesn't matter. The spouse moves on. You can also protect the spouse. Arguably, there's several school of thoughts about that. You can, but it's kind of sick, thinking about somebody kind of getting wealthy from insuring a parent or a child or spouse, But it's different when there is dependents like kids. Okay, so that's the comparison of numbers. So life insurance, you get life insurance. Again, we're just talking about numbers in this example, right? $300,000. It will take you 20 years plus to get that amount by putting $460 a month away. Now, with life insurance, once you sign up for it, you have, if you pass in a month, in a year, okay, you would have comparingly $5,500 only to your name or in your saving account or in your retirement account like they wanted to do. So that's why we need life insurance. This is step 2 of wealth game. Because if something happens, all your plans go kaput, and that's why we need it. So in this case, I definitely would recommend canceling whole life insurance. However, if they have dependents, I would not cancel it until I get a replacement. Okay, replacement, even in the math that we just did here on a napkin, it's a tenth cost of the whole life insurance. So once you have replacement and you covered with term life insurance, yes, do cancel whole life insurance. Okay, and that's why it's better, that premium, like with the car. Imagine if we use this question about the car insurance, right, or house insurance. Well, why don't I just put that money into saving? It's the same thing. Okay, so if something happens, you get in an accident, and now you have to pay $100,000. Well, would you have that money? Would you have that money if you just put the premium that you pay for insurance into your saving account? You will not for many, many years. And it could be many accidents happening. Plus, you have to have a willpower not to use that money. Okay, this is just for accident for this car. This is for accident for this car. And this is for my house, if there's a fire. You can lose everything. Just same with your progress in your wealth game. Your family can lose everything with your passing, and there is no life insurance. Okay. And the biggest mistakes people make with life insurance would be it. They are buying whole life insurance because somebody sold it to them, but there's a lot of fees, and how it's structured, it does not benefit regular person like you and I. I do not have whole life insurance, but I am insured up to, I think, $960,000. So in case something happens to me, my wife can invest that money and live off 10% a year. Okay, so that is where that's the hill I'm willing to die on. So it's definitely do not benefit, and that's the biggest mistake that people do by buying whole life policies. Now, trust me, they pay a lot. They pay a lot to their agents, and that's why they're still being sold. But it's a bad financial product. Separate your investments from your insurance. Okay? All right, let's look at the next one. Okay, if you're joining us this morning, this is Vladimir with InvestSteady.com. In the mornings while you're driving to work or you're working out, we are talking here about finances, specifically about 10 levels of wealth game. Okay, I really like this. Well, I like the saying, I guess, that invest steady, increase your net worth, compound your net worth. Invest steady, compound your net worth. It's pretty cool. Compounding is amazing. All right. So let's see what we got here. Update. I am deciding to cancel the policy. I guess before update, let's read what happened. Saw another post and sparked me to think about this. I was sold life insurance by a good older family friend when I first started working out of college. I'm a big proponent of taking responsibility. Take responsibility. You are not sold. You bought. You signed it. You decided to do it. Doesn't matter what they did. Okay, my wife, we sat through several timeshare speeches back in the day when we wanted to go on this discounted vacation. We had to sit through that. It's intense. But we did not buy timeshare. A lot of people did. So let's rephrase that. I bought a life insurance from a good old family friend when I just first started working out of college. She's like an aunt to me, and I knew she'd make commission. So I figured I figured it had just be another way to invest. I had never done it before, but planned to as I started having steady stream of income and help her out. Okay. I've had it for a couple years now and pay $150 a month with a total premium payment of $4,050. My surrender value is only $1,500 and accumulated value is $3,100. Wow, a couple years you already have accumulated value. That's something. But let's see, a couple years. If you did it for a couple years, let's do the math, right? She put $8,000 into it, and now she has available $3,000. That's pretty funny math to me. Surrender value, and even less if she just surrenders it. It's only $1,500. Funny math. The death benefit is about $250K. But honestly, I'd rather cancel and use the $150 a month on other accounts. Only thing I have to go through my family friend to cancel. I can't do it online or over the phone. I'm not struggling financially, but I think the $150 a month can benefit me in other accounts. It is worth the awkward conversation to cancel. Yes, and you already decided to do that, of course. We know about that, but it's definitely worth it. You know, your aunt does not pay your bills. You pay your bills. You build your future. It's on your hands. Only you can do that. So yes, it's awkward. Doesn't matter. You don't have to explain anything. You say, at this time, I decided that I'm not going to continue with this life insurance. I need to cancel, please. And that's it. You don't need to explain anything. I have decided. That's it. And that hopefully will help. It might be still awkward. They might still persuade you because they make commission. Because the difference between the numbers that you put in and what you can actually get out is going to them. So it's definitely a nice gig for them. Okay, so again, a couple things. Yes, you can put it in different accounts. Definitely going to be used much better. Into your 401k, your Roth IRA, of course, going to grow tax-free. However, it depends who you are. I'm assuming you're a young professional with no family, so you probably do not need life insurance. I would not recommend it anyways. But so cancel that. Work on your steps or levels in your wealth game. Okay, and then at the time when you will have family and we'll start thinking about kids, then get a life insurance. Okay. Yes, and it is cheaper when you're younger, but also there's no point for that. And then when you're married, your income is hopefully doubled, or increased, and it's going to be a smaller percentage of your whole financial picture. All right. So how to think about coverage the right way without overcomplicating it. These are the steps of figuring out how much life insurance you need. Well, first of all, you need to figure out if you need it. Okay. You only need it when you have dependents. when you have dependents, children, spouse, or somebody else. People depend on you, depend on your income. Okay, in my case, my wife is full-time stay-at-home mom. She works part-time, and so we live on income that I make, of course. So that means if I pass, most of the income is going to be gone. Okay, we do have properties, so she will obviously get those and income from those, but it's still not close. It's getting closer. Yes, but it's not there yet, and that means the big chunk of her income is going to be gone. And now she can't watch kids anymore because now she has to go to work to pay a mortgage and to take care of the kids as well. So if you have dependents, if you have dependents, then you need to have life insurance. Period. End of story. This is the second step in the wealth game. Okay. Now, how much do you need? There are several schools of thought. Again, for example, you can count, okay, let's say we owe $140,000 on our mortgage. Okay, let's say we have a couple cars that we need to be paid off still. We owe money on it. Let's say it's $20,000 per car. It's $40,000 total. Just for the hypothetically is the example here. So we can calculate money like that. Okay, so 140 plus another 40, 180, plus we want to put kids through college, let's say 100,000 each. So let's say we have 2 kids, right? So it's another couple 100,000. So a total is 380, 405, let's round it up. Burial, another whatever, so round it up to 500,000. And you can go this route, okay? This way, the spouse will have a payoff house, okay? And then most bigger ticket items will be taken care of. However, there's another school of thought is if you have insurance that is 10 to 12% times, I should say, of your income. Let's say I make $10,000. Well, maybe a better example. If I make $50,000 a year, so my insurance would be $500,000 to $600,000. Okay, what that would do when I pass, my wife will get that money and she can invest them even in the simple S&P 500 and live off the interest, because S&P 500 historically was bringing 10 to 12% annually. That means she will get that $50,000 a year, that a loss of my income in perpetuity. So as long as money invested is gonna grow and throw off that money. That is the school of thought that I use with my family. Okay, so I'm insured 10% of 10 times my income. So in case that happens, my income will be replaced with the investments, and my wife she will lose me. Hopefully she'll be sad, but at least she's not going to lose the income. Okay, bills are coming in, they can be paid off, properties can be sold off to pay off mortgage and stuff, and then she'll have life insurance investment to live off of. And that's why in my wealth game, this is step number 2. All right, let's look at another question. Do you believe in life insurance, or is it a scam? Is life insurance really a must? I've been thinking a lot about canceling this life insurance that I got for myself and my parent. I actually had a life insurance last time, which is minimum 10 years to pay, and is already done with it, and I have decided to cancel the plan since I don't think it's working out for me, since the one I got has small percentage goes to investing, and I think it's was too small, and it is better to separate investing and insurance. That is correct. So it's hard to understand what kind of life insurance it is from the beginning of those sentences, but at the end, when she or he says that Vienna Avo, so I'm assuming it's a girl, investing. When there's investing in life insurance, it's automatically whole, universal, all that kind of nonsense. for sure, keep your investments and your insurance separated. Okay. So it's not a scam, just like we just spoke earlier, but whole life is a scam. It's a scam. Okay, there is part of life insurance. I mean, you, I guess, could benefit if you die a year after you get the the policy, but we don't know when we die, so we don't want to gamble with that. We want to have a long-term strategy, just like, again, with the vehicle insurance and property insurance. Okay, we do that because if something happens, we don't want to lose our property. We don't lose a car and have nothing and ride the bike to work. And for that reason, we have life insurance or insurance. So it will replenish our loss, okay, whether a vehicle or house. Okay, so moving on. However, I got a new plan again last year, one for me and one for my parent. Okay, who is dependent on your parent? Are you dependent on your parent or a parent depending on you? Okay, do not buy policies for your parents. You're trying to get wealthy by getting money after their death. Then you take care of their household. You take care of your household. And I'm thinking, and I am again thinking of canceling it out and just investing it in MP2. No idea what that is. Or buy my parents their medicine and a lot that money for our health needs instead. I've also learned from my friend who was ex-financial advisor that insurance is a big scam. Sure, yes, since the money we put in these products are to be invested and gets a lot of incentives from us buying their product. I am torn with my decision if I should continue paying for it or just cancel it and use the money for present things like using for health maintenance or death plan. Okay, a couple things. So yes, for example, if I help you to get life insurance, yes, I get commission. Okay, it doesn't compare to whole life agent, but so is every service. Okay, you want your car fixed, you pay for this. Okay, you want to buy Apple product, computer. Those geniuses there, they get paid. Okay, maybe not commission. Structure might be different. They might get paid hourly, but that's how all services work. Okay, obviously we can isolate the life insurance agent and say that they're evil because of that, but no, that's all services work. I listen to some prominent people on teaching about business. Their time costs money. Okay, their help, their courses, it all cost money. So now again, do not buy insurance for your parent. Yes, you use it for medicine. If you have dependents on you, buy insurance, and others. Otherwise, do not do it. By the way, I'm just mere employee with no current side hustle at the moment. I just want to hear your thoughts about having life insurance. Well, a life insurance is a must in my books. This is the second level of wealth game after budgeting, and those two are foundation for everything else. Because if you have no budget, doesn't matter how much you make, you will waste it, all of it. Okay, and if you don't have life insurance, you could start building your wealth, right? But it can go crumbling down. Like if something happens to me right now and I don't have life insurance, well, my wife's gonna go through a lot of work selling off properties. Potentially, she's probably not gonna manage them, but there's gonna be a lot of work to do that, and then she'll need to work and take care of the kids. It's going to be way more work for her by herself than when we are together. All right. This is, hopefully this makes sense, how to think about coverage the right way. All right. And speaking of that, next question, is life insurance right for me? In my second relationship and working on long-term planning, the facts are these. Well, first of all, if you're in a long-term relationship, that doesn't mean anything. You can end those. But if you're married, then let's look at this. Okay, myself 58, 1.2 million in tax deferred accounts. Basically retirement. Okay, 150,000 in cash, zero debt. Great. 130K salary. Love my job. Plan to work until 70 basis. Modest return and contributing a path to 2 million in tax deferred at 70. Okay, so far so good. Her 54, 60K in tax deferred accounts. Beautiful. 400K inherited REIT, 600K in property, zero debt. Very good. 50K salary, not contributing to retirement accounts, but REIT and properties will gain value. Long-term plan to use as a couple at 7 is to live on Social Security income and returns from investments while maintaining our assets to leave legacy for our kids. So far, great plan. I'm going to continue reading, but you don't need life insurance. You have no dependence on you. You have no kids at home that, or maybe, let's read about that. Currently, I pay 95% of the household expenses, and majority of her income goes to horses, which we both enjoy. We enjoy life. We don't stress about money, and in the present life is very good. I also believe bases lots of thoughts, planning and modest projections. If we both continue to live long, healthy lives, we have a clear path to retirement. Our estates are similar, and it's our plan to leave our assets to our children separately. All of our vehicles are titled. Who joined something? Oh boy. JTWROS, I should know that. Our kids all get along, and we're at the place in life where we give them anything of ours that they want. All of our stuff is of no concern, so it will just be given to the kids when something happens to one or both of us. Okay. Joint tenants. Okay, so far I got 2 letters. Joint tenants I have one outstanding concern I need to address. If something happens to her, I'll be fine. Her kids will get her assets, and I have enough salary to support myself. What I'm trying to figure out is what I can do if something happens to me so she can maintain her lifestyle and not impact the legacy we both want to leave for our kids. My thoughts is a life insurance policy on me payable to her. Does this seem like a reasonable solution? Any other ideas? Well, curveball at the end. Doesn't sound like you guys married. If you are not married, then I would not do that. Her wealth is her wealth, and seems like you'll give your finances to your kids, and she will give her finances to her kids. Uh-oh. Just a second. So, for that reason, keep them separate. Okay, your finances is gonna go to your kids. Something happens to you, they'll be okay. Her finance is gonna go to her kids if something happens to her. Now, if something happens to her, you don't worry about that, of course. You will be fine. Then she should be fine. Okay, you're not married, you're not combining anything. You keep your finances separately. I guess you're paying for stuff. It's up to you. Propose to her, marry her, and then you will figure out from both your estates how the money will go to where. But if you're keeping it separate, then of course that's the dilemma. Okay, she needs to be able to figure out to live on her million and some change dollars. I think she can do it. REIT, if she can sell that and live on that. You want to prop it, you can technically have a life insurance. I don't recommend at 58. I would rather you will some money to her, out of your almost couple $1 million. Just will something to her. Why you need life insurance? That's in my opinion, of course. No dependence, not defined relationship per se, or boyfriend-girlfriend kind of relationship. So many things can change, but you're self-insured, as we would say. So yeah, just will to her a portion of your estate if you want to take care of her. Because it sounds like you don't want to pay out of your money for her life after you pass, so that's why you want to pay a little bit for life insurance, just so she inherited some money, or will get some money from life insurance. So it's up to you, of course, but this is what I would do. All right. Okay, next question. Life insurance worth it? So I'm not sure if this is the right place. So if it isn't, I'm sorry and can remove. That being said, my wife and I are expecting our first kid in few months. We've got about $200K in 401K, $50K in HISA, $30K in the Roth IRA, and a personal brokerage account. We've also got a real estate portfolio with 4 properties in it. Great. Is a 25-year policy worth it for us? It's new for me and just looking for insights to do best for our family if anything ever went wrong. Okay, very good question, and definitely good job, guys. Good retirement. I hope you have no debt and good income. So 25-year policy worth it. So first of all, buy term. Okay, invest the difference. Do not buy whole life. So you didn't mention it here, but since it says 25-year policy, that sounds to me like a term life insurance. So which is good. Okay, so is it worth it? Yes. Again, the idea is to have income from your investments from life insurance in case something happens to you. So for 25 years, you're having kids. If you have one kid, after 25 years, the kid will be 25. They're not dependent on you anymore, okay? They can take care of themselves, and your wife will be able to take care of herself. But for that time, 25-year policy, definitely worth it. Maybe 35. One of my policies at 35, I was like, okay, let me do it. I will be, what am I going to be, 73 at that time. So it's the cheapest to buy it right now, of course, when you're younger than later in time. So that's what I did. I bought a 35-year policy, actually. And the idea is the kid's going to be gone by then, and there will be some kind of potential income if I pass before that, or money, I should say, for burial and stuff like that. So yes, in your case, definitely go ahead and buy policy term life insurance, 25 or more or less, depending, I guess, on how many kids you want. So if you want one kid, 25 is fine. If you want 2 kids and the second one you will have 5 years later, it's fine as well, in my opinion, but if you have 8 kids, you might want to reconsider terms and change some things here and there. All right. Welcome to anybody who is just joining. This is Vladimir Nemchinov with InvestSteady.com. We talk finances this morning on your way to work or to the gym. All right. Next question. How much life insurance do I need? I'm in my 30s, married, but make significantly more than my wife and have a baby on the way. I have a life insurance option through my job, term insurance. Just wondered what I should get. Feel free to recommend based on multiple of my salary. Interesting. Okay. Oh, another good point. Through my job. I do not know what that means. Usually there's no term with the job. It's usually life insurance, that kind of group life insurance. And I do not recommend it because it's attached to your job. Let's say you worked at your job for 10 years. So you got 10 years older and now you're at a different job and you want to get life insurance that's not attached to employer. Well, now you're 10 years older. So get it independently from the job. That's one point. Second point is with your employer life insurance, read policy. A lot of people say that, oh, I'm insured through my employer. Again, once you're gone, you lost the policy. And second part is always check what the policies say. Ask for policy. At my previous job, I requested it and I got it, and it would be funny if it wasn't so sad. It basically, I would have to die at my desk, at work, at my work hours for my spouse to get the insurance, the what's it called, the money, basically, how much I was covered for. So it's usually a very bad scenario and so cheap because groups of people buy it, and the employers get discounted on that, but the policy is usually horrendous. We talked about, no, we didn't talk about that. So, for example, some companies do not cover death by self-inflicted, let's say. And the company we're with, it does cover it after 2 years. And it's kind of sad to me because I known somebody who I talked to about life insurance before, and that person said, we don't need life insurance, we're not planning on dying, and then they helped themselves too. So it's sad. We don't know. We truly don't know when we're going to pass, and later on if we decide that this is the time to do so. But some companies cover it after 2 years. Obviously, usually it's mental, and when that happens, you don't plan, let me take a policy, and 2 years later I'm going to do it. Usually it's like, I can't take it anymore. Let's do something about it. So anyways, guys, yes, to this 30-year-old married, get life insurance, get it outside of your employer. So this is you, goes with you wherever you go, and not depending on employer. All right. Let's see, one more. Question about trying to find the perfect term life insurance versus giving one now. My wife and I are looking for term life insurance for ourselves to protect our kids against catastrophe for the next 20 years. We're both extremely busy and haven't had the time to thoroughly research this, but we also are eager to get something in place. I'm trying to find the right balance between a now solution versus perfect solution. Okay, so right off the bat, when we get our first policies, same thing. There are several variables in life insurance. It's term, how long you will be covered for. It's how much you will be covered for, and your premium, how much you will pay every month or once a year. Okay, so those are the variables. When I was just starting, I had this is 50. We have $50 to spend a month on life insurance. Okay, and then the other two things, the term and the obviously term. Also, you want to do it while kids are, let's say, before they turn 20, basically, or 18 or 20, basically, until they're adult and they can take care of themselves and sustain themselves. And I think 18 is plenty. So those were constant for us. So only the premium, or not premium, but the benefit, how much will be covered for, was the only variable for us. So, and seems like here as well, this is the perfect solution. You want for 20 years, this is how much we can afford. You can add later. However, later will be more expensive. So we covered, both of us, for $350,000, I believe, myself and my wife, for $50 a month. And then I added 600 more at $100 a month several years later. I can't remember, was it 38 or 37, something like that. So it will go up the way with your age, but definitely something right now is definitely better than nothing. Okay, so if you can afford only $50, well, let's cover yourself for next 5 years, let's say, with that $50 a month, as much as it will get you, and then you can add later when you start making more, you progressing through your steps, through your wealth game levels. All right, let's read it. Keep reading. She's part of professional work association that offers term life insurance. Seems to be fairly easy to sign up for folks who use it tend to like it for whatever that's worth. Appears to be relatively headache-free to set up and manage, I guess. All right. My hesitation is to move forward up until now. Now has been that I want to do more research on different policies on competitiveness and or to see how certain lifestyle adjustments may result in better coverage. What I'm wondering though is there any downside or just signing up with the one that's available now and continuing with the research as time allows? It seems like if I discover a better option, I can just stop paying or on the original policy and enact a new one. Am I missing anything that would make this bad idea? Okay, very good questions. Now whatever I get versus later. So yes, get life insurance right now. Okay. You don't know what can happen with some companies like our company. You actually, if we apply for it even before it gets approved, I forgot what it's called, but basically you will get coverage if something happened to you before even all the things were reviewed, or some kind of coverage. But here, yes, get something. But don't get it through the job. Get through somebody who can help you explain these things. Let me know if you have question. Contact. We can talk about that. Very easy. Get something you can afford right now, and then you can get whatever best later. But obviously, I think ours is best, and it covers death on self-harm after 2 years. It also it's not only price about the coverage, but also the coverage itself. What's your policy? Like, okay, what's the nuances there? Do you have to pass because you got in an accident in a semi-trailer and run over by an airplane, or that you passed? Okay, so these are the things that you need to take into consideration. It's very important. It's very important to get the right coverage, and definitely not through your employer or your wife's employer. Alrighty, guys, that's all I got for today. Thank you so much for joining. I hope that helps. Put in the comments if you have any questions about term life insurance, whole life insurance. What do you think? What's your opinion? If you're trolling, troll somewhere else. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching.